Have you ever heard of a naggy neighbor? One that fails to understand the concept of personal space, bugs you with super intrusive questions, or is overly invested in your love life. If you're of the so-called marriageable age, this will probably sound familiar. Maybe your annoying neighbor constantly urges you to get married. The goal is to make it happen before the horrors begin. God forbid you get too old and wrinkly, or that all the good prospects are gone. Such conversations can be both funny and jarring. But when the role of a naggy neighbor is played by your country, it simply borders on the latter. We're talking about a county in China. It's called Changshan. This county is urging its people to get married. We must give it points for creativity. Listen to their new policy. The county will offer couples a reward if the bride is aged 25 or younger. And what's the said reward? 1,000 yuan or $137. Clearly, the county doesn't just want more marriages, it wants young people to get married. They say it's to promote quote-unquote age-appropriate marriage and childbearing. Talk about pressure. But this is only the latest such measure. Over the past few years, China has tried several measures to incentivize marriage. Most of the policies are aimed at youngsters. China wants to catch them young and push them into marriage, kind of like a creepy Pokemon game. Except it kind of makes sense for them. China's population is aging. Its birth rate and marriage rate has been declining. Marriage rates hit a record low last year. It stood at 6.8 million. That's the lowest since 1986. That's when the records began. And just look at the drop. Last year, marriages were 800,000 lesser than in 2021. What about China's fertility rate? It's already one of the lowest in the world. It dropped to a record low of 1.09 last year. What's behind this? Raising children has become increasingly difficult in China. Childcare costs are high, unemployment rates are skyrocketing. People's careers are stalling, so women are putting off having children and they don't want to get married thanks to gender discrimination, which is widespread across the country. More and more women are becoming comfortable with being single.
I think about the unmarried women I know and have a lot of respect for them. I think it's time for society to stop the stigma and see the diversity within single women. People may have all sorts of reasons, all sorts of starting points to choose to stay as they are, to enter into marriage, or to choose to have a reproductive plan on their own. I think that these women, their courage and independence, their determination should actually be better understood.
I have a lot of friends who have been forced to get married. This idea of getting married for the sake of it has hurt a lot of people. Marriage has taken on a lot of things it shouldn't. It has become mixed up with a lot of things like sex, property, social stability, and I think it shouldn't be like this.
I actually think that a lot of people, especially women, can live a good life as a single. As far as they are concerned, a family is just a burden they don't need at all. I think you need to think quite clearly about what you want before you get married, and not about fulfilling other people's expectations.
Sounds empowering, and it is. But this is bad news for China. Its aging population poses various social and economic threats, and its policies don't seem to be working. Maybe if China focused on solving deeper issues that stop people from getting married or having children, rather than behaving like marriage websites or annoying neighbors, there would be some progress.